Jai Hind to all. My name is Dhanshri Parihar, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Akgec Garg Engineering College. And today, my topic is Introduction to Sealed Classes, Switch Expression, Text Block and Records from the subject Object-Oriented Programming with Java. So the overview includes the introduction to switch expression, advanced switch expression after the version Java 14, and its usage in the latest versions, and its advantage over the previous switch expression which is being used in the lower versions. Then the sealed classes, how these classes are used and what are the benefits of using these classes in Java programming language, text block and records in Java, along with the introduction to yield keyword which is used in switch expression. So what is switch expression? So earlier, before Java 12 version, this switch expression is not supported in Java. So we are using the primitive switch statement in Java programming language as we use in other programming languages like Python, like C language and C++ language. So what is the drawback of using that switch statement, and what is the usage and advantage of implementing this new switch expression over the previous switch which is already existing in the programming languages? So before understanding that concept, let us consider what are the different scenario which will be supported by this switch expression. So this version of switch expression is supported in after I said the Java 12 version and the latest version, that is other version, that is the Java 13 onwards. Okay, and this is a part of a new features which are introduced in your Java. Now what is the role of this switch expression, how it is different from the primitive switch? As we know, as in this switch expression, some case and some labels are being used which was not previously used in the primitive switch statement. Along with that, in order to return a value from your switch expression, we will use a keyword which is known as yield. Like we will use a return keyword in our method in Java. The same role will be played by the yield in our switch expression. Switch expression uses the cases, and it can be written with this keyword case and then the label, the name of the label which we need to validate, and then we have an expression which will be used when the case level will be matched with our switch expression. Okay, so let's have a look what is the difference between and why it is being used over our primitive switch statement. Now as shown in this example, this is an example of primitive switch statement. In this example, what we are doing, we are having three cases, 10, case 10, 20 and 30. Three of them are printing some statement inside it. First will printing 10, second is printing 20 value, and the third case 30 will be printing value 30. Now as we see in this program, first we have created a class named as switch example. Then the main method is written in the programming example. After then, a variable has been taken of type integer with the value of 20 stored in it. In a primitive switch statement, what is the syntax of writing that? We have a switch keyword, then its parameter, that the value which need to be validated in our multiple switch cases. So as in case 1, we have written case keyword and then the value which we need to validate with this number, and then the printing statement according to the case label. After that, we terminate this particular case with the break statement. Why we use break statement? In order to exit from this particular state and to stop the program over here till we met our desired case. But there will be a problem with this break statement. What is that problem? Suppose if we are writing, not supposing that we are having a number whose value is 20. So this number is holding value 20. When we start executing this program, first this 20 will get matched with this 10 value over here. So this case is not getting validated with this particular value. Then will be move forward, the program control will be move forward to this case number 20. Here this value will got matched. So this will be the correct match for this switch validation, and then the printing statement system.out.println, this particular printing statement will be printing value 20. Now what will happen if this break keyword is not there in this program? As I stated it here to be a comment, and if I forget to write this break statement after this case statement, what will happen? The control will jump from this case. By after executing the system.out, it will jump to the case number 30. And what is the problem with that? As we know that the number variable is holding the value 20, and it need to execute only the case label containing the value 20. That means this particular case is only need to be executed. There is no need of executing this 30 value or default part. But here in this case, as we forget to write this break statement, or by any issue this break statement is not working, then the control of program will jump to the next case, that is case 30. And in the output, what we are receiving? We are receiving 20 and 30, both the value, because the break keyword is missing in between. So that is the issue with the primitive switch statement, where if the break is missing from the program, the control will go to the next case, which is kind of an exception in a program which we do not need or do not want, and we will met with the, we can say, not a appropriate output. So in order to remove this thing from the programming, this switch expression is being introduced in the advanced version of Java, that is after version Java 13. Now in this switch expression, we are having multiple labels supported by a single case, as shown over here. We have a case, then level 1, level 2, and so many level up to n, and then we have this arrow symbol, and we have on the right hand side we are having an expression which we want to execute under that particular case if the label of that case matches with our particular condition. Okay, and we can also throw exception over here also in its body, and then we will finish that particular we can say that a switch expression. Okay, where label 1 and label 2 and label 1 are repeating various values to compare, and we can use expression and a statement to return a value or throw an expression inside your switch statement like this. So this is one of the example of switch expression. Here we will using keyword switch, same as that of primitive switch statement, and then we have a variable name inside the parameter of that switch that we need to validate with our cases. Okay, and that item code will be having any value, either 001, 002 or 003. So we can, a single case can hold multiple validation value. Like in this example, we have more than one value, like this 001, 002. Out of 3, any one of the matches, then we will print this to be as the element in the gadget. This is an electronic gadget. Okay, this needs to be print when we will met with the code 001, 002 and 003. For these 3 cases, it will be printing it's an electronic gadget, and we will using the break statement over here also. In later we will seeing how this break statement is being replaced by another we can say keyword or another things. And we have another case also which will be again supporting multiple labels, 2 labels 004 and 005. Here it will be printing it is a mechanical device. So this switch expression is capable of holding more than one label by a particular case, whereas in a primitive switch statement only one label will be supported by the case. So here this is one of the advanced feature of this switch expression over the switch statement. One another feature that will be supported by this switch expression is our yield, which will be acting as yield keyword, which will be acting as a return keyword which we use inside a method. So let's have a look at this yield keyword. Like here we are writing some variable name as val, and switch that will be storing the code value in it, and then cases are like x and y, and what we are using, we are returning yield. That yield is used to return the value 1 from here. If either of the 2 cases will be supported by this particular case, and this code will be holding the value x and y, then the yield 1 will be returned, and if it will be z or w, then the yield second will be returned. We will have a look upon it in a main, we can say, in a very big program later on. Let's see the example of a simple switch expression without yield keyword. So in this program, what we are doing, we are printing the days of a week, and we were declaring whether a particular day is a weekday, that is a working day, or a weekend. So as we all know that Saturday and Sunday are the weekends, and the we can say the weekdays are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So by using this program, we are showing this example. we have two choices. Either we will print a weekend or we will print a weekday. So for doing so, here we have taken a switch example class, and then the main method is being declared. Inside the main method, we have created one variable named as day, and we are storing the value to be 1 in that particular variable. Okay, we can get this value from the user also at the time when the program is being executed. So right now it's a static value, we are taking it to be static. Then we have a day type, and using a switch expression with our parameter day, which we are storing in a day type variable. So whatever the value case will be returning of that particular switch, that will be printed by using a day type variable later on in this program. So in the body of switch, what we are doing, we are using the case and the multiple levels. As I told you earlier that from day 1 to day 5 they are weekdays, and 6th and 7th day are a weekend, that is Saturday and Sunday. So what we are doing, we are writing case 1, then 2, then 3, 4 and 5. And what we want to print over here, that we want to print it as a weekday. If that case, the value of this day will be out of any these 5 values, the output will be weekday. And if it's not so, if it is 6 and 7, then the output will be weekend. Okay, return to this particular day variable, and then this day variable will be holding this value and return to this day type variable by using this switch expression. And we have a default portion similar as that of our primitive switch statement. If out of any these 7 cases, case 1 to 5 and then case 6 to 7, no one case is true, then the default value, that is new illegal argument exception, will be thrown if it doesn't the value didn't match any case value, and here the invalid day will be printed. If the day value will be 100, 8, 9, so these are the invalid values. For that part, the default part of this program will be executed. So what will be the output in this case? As we see here, the value of day is 1. This value is being passed to this switch variable, and then it will be matched with case 1, and the value weekday will be returned to the switch expression. The output will be like this: the day is a weekday. So that is the output of this switch expression. But this switch expression is without our yield keyword, which is used to return a value from a program. Let's have a look at the program which will be having this yield keyword and how it is different from this current example. So what is yield? As I told you, a yield keyword is added in Java language after Java 14 version for implementing the switch expression, and it is used to return the value from the case which will be being used in a switch expression. And what are the benefit of using the yield keyword in a switch expression? As it establishes a direct connection between the case labels and the return values, and enhancing the clarity of the coding in a programming language Java. And it is concise, means it is simple. It will form a simplicity in the syntax. It eliminates the temporary variable and reduce the code line. That is, the line of code will be lesser by using the yield keyword in our this Java programming language. So let's have a look how this previous example that I had told you about the weekday and the weekend printing will be modified by using this yield keyword. Okay, so over here again we have a class example, and then we have a main method. Inside main method we have a same name variable day, which will be holding value 1 as an integer value. Then day type variable, which will be holding the return value from the cases, which will be matched with our switch expression. So here the value of day is 1. Again the case number 1 will be executed. Now inside the body of case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this one, we have a yield keyword returning the value weekday. Okay, and the control will be terminated over here. So no control will be transmitted to the next case statement, and there is no need of writing any break statement over here. Without break, it will be executing automatically. Okay, and if none of the case is executing, then the default part will be executing. So here the yield key will returning the value inside from that case. Again we will met with the same output: the day is a weekday. So that is the advantage of using a, we can say, this advanced switch expression over our primitive switch statement in Java programming language. Now next topic is our text block. So what is text block in Java programming language? It is an alternative form of a Java string representation that can be used anywhere as a traditional double quoted string literal can be used. So what is this? As we all know that inside a double quote string we will write only a single word, but what will happen if we want to support the multiple words or multiple line of statements as a string in Java programming language? So there we can use this text block. Text block means if we want to write multiple lines in a our Java programming code, okay, and how it will be possible by using this 3 starting quotes and ending quote. So primitively, if we want to write a string, we will be using single starting quotes and ending quotes, okay, single quotes, and we will writing a statement inside it. But what if we want to write a very big statement of 100 words, 300 words, or 400 words inside our programming language? So we can do it by using a text block. So what we are doing, we will writing again. It is a kind of string only, but the way of representation is different from the primitive string statement, we can say a string variable. So here text2 is a string variable, but of type what? Text. How we can come to know about this? Because we are starting this statement with 3 starting quotes and ending with 3 ending quotes, okay, hello ABC, and we are writing in this hello ABC in multiple lines. So multiple line of string will be supported by using this text block. Let us have a look at the example for this text block. So this is the example for the text block. Here we are taking a class geeks and then a main method. After main method, what we are doing, we are creating a one text block variable and we are writing this is a, and here we are commenting it as a primitive declaration of your string. So if I want to write this statement, this is a multiple text block. I want to insert this statement, this particular string in my code. So what I have to do previously, in a primitive we can say string declaration, I'm starting it with the single quotes, then I will be writing this is a, then again double quotes, multi-line, then concatenation operator in order to concatenate it with the or link it with the previous line, okay, and then again starting the quote and ending the quote and writing our string. That is the primitive kind of declaration for the string. But using the text block, what we will do, this will be changed into a simple way, we can say in a simple manner, like we are writing here to be text block and then I'm starting the 3 quotes and go on writing my lines, whatever number of lines I want to write in my program. And when I want to stop it, then I will be stopping it by using 3 quotes to end that particular string. So there is no need of introducing a concatenation operator in between, no need of again declaring the starting and ending quotes for each and every single word or string. Here we have to put our 3 starting quotes and to end these 3 ending quotes and we are done with the code. So this is a simple way of converting the multiple line string again to multiple line string, but without using the concatenation operator. So that is all about this text block that will be used to introduce the simplicity in our this programming language. And again the use of concatenation symbol is also removed from this text block. So this will be the output. This is a multiple line text which will be written by a string, and this is a multiple line text block that will be written with the help of using a text block. Next topic is sealed classes. Now what are sealed classes? These sealed classes are the advanced topic from the advanced version of the topic inheritance, we can say. How we can look into a different kind of we can say advancement in inheritance in Java programming language. So previously what we are doing, we are just taking a class and extending it, and then it will be being extended by its child class, and there will be no security about the thing that any class can is capable of extending any other class, that is the parent class. So the child class have that we can say choice to make choice which of the parent class it wants to make for its extension. So but in sealed classes, what we are doing, we are restricting the child classes, and we are giving the authority to the parent class to make selection among the multiple classes, that for what child it want to go, means for which classes it will be giving the option to get it extended. Okay, so that authority will be given to the parent class. Previously in a simple inheritance, we are not giving this authority to the parent class, so there will be no means of protecting the inheritance by the parent class. Only there will be a keyword known as the final keyword, which is used in the front of a class to prohibit the extension of that particular class. So there is another way where we can restrict the extension of the parent class by using this sealed classes functionality. So what is a sealed class? As we see here how it can be written, we have a keyword sealed in front of a class keyword, and then we have a class name which we want to sealed for. And what this sealed class will do, it will give permission to other class for its extension. So this class will be permitting its selected child class to get it extended. So no one else can extend this particular class except those child classes which will be having given a permission by this sealed class. So sealed classes are used to restrict the users from your inheriting that particular class, and a class can be sealed by using a sealed keyword. So if this keyword is missing in front of the class, then we are not able to use this particular scenario that I am discussing. So what are the features that will be supported by sealed class, and why it is used? As I told you earlier that for security point of view, we will be giving authority to the parent class to make choices among the selected classes, that they will be its child class only. No other can able to extend it. So it will give a permission that it will permit it allow the subclass to inherit. Secondly, how it is different from a non-sealed classes, that it can only be extended by the permitted subclasses, and the final keyword also used in the front of its child classes so as to give prior permission for their extension also. So let us have a look at the example, and we will have a look at the extended version of this example also. So in this example, we have a sealed class named as shape. We are using a keyword sealed, and it is public. Then the class keyword, then the name of the class, and permits keyword. This permit keywords is only permitting circle and rectangle class to as its child class, and this shape is only being extended by the circle and rectangle. So no other class is capable of extending it. Why? Because it is a sealed class. It's having a limited scope for it. So here what we are doing, we are using the circle class which is extending shape. It is allowed to extend it, and another class rectangle is allowed to extend this shape class. Now what will happen if I write some another class X, Y, Z, and this class X, Y, Z wants to extend this shape class? What will happen at this point? So this shape class is not permitting any X, Y, Z class over here. Okay, only two classes have permission for extending this class, circle and rectangle. So in this case, when we want any unauthorized class to extend this sealed shaped class, in this case we will met with the, we can say, error. Okay, and the program will not execute. It will showing that this is a sealed class and this will not going to happen. This extension is not going to happen. Let us have a look at the another example for this sealed classes. Here we have a class animal which permits the dog and the cat class for its extension. So this animal class is a sealed class. Now why we are putting this final keyword in front of this dog and cat class? In order to prevent their further extension. So dog and cat is not going to further extended by any other class. So they remain to be their only child. Means we are not providing the multiple inheritance in this scenario. Why? Because sealed class concept is only giving the permission to their child. If the child is having its own child, okay, that child will have a direct access to the parent, which is not possible in the case of sealed. Again, we will met with the problem over there. So that's why we are making these child classes to be the final classes. So no other class will have capability or ability to extend cat and dog class. Okay, so we have an animal as sealed class, and this will be extended by only the cat and dog class. If there is another class cow, that is not capable of extending it. Why? Because it is a steel class. Extends, not extends. And this is our seed class. And after this extension, what we are printing in this particular class, dog barks and cat mews. Okay, the behavior of dog and cat. When we write down this main method class, in main method class, we are making a object of this animal class, okay, which is a parent class, and then by using this object, we are accessing the methods of our child class dog and cat. And what will be the output for this program? Dog barks and cat mews. Okay. So that will be the output for this program. So what is the advantage of using the sealed classes? As I told you earlier, that in order to provide the high authority, we can say, or high security in our classes, that the parent class have a control over its child classes. It will give permission to how many classes will be extending that particular parent class. For that security point of view, we are using the sealed class feature. The authority to parent class is given as a sealed class. Now last topic is these records. So what are records in Java? As in Java, records are the feature which are introduced after the version 14. So and after 14 version, again it will be get advanced by the version 16. So record provides a concise way to declare the classes, a simple way, and they are immutable, means once they are created, they cannot be changed. They will be having their default value which we have assigned to it. So once they are created, there is no modification to the record. So for doing so, introducing such kind of features in Java, we'll be using the records. So let's have a look at this particular example of records. Now in this example, we are creating a record named as person. So what we are doing here, we are writing a public and then record keyword and the name of that particular record. Okay. And the name of a record is person, which will be holding two parameters, name and age. So we are closing its body. We are not writing any code inside it. Just we have created a record outer structure. So what inside that particular record. Now after that, we are creating our main method class, and then a main method will be declared inside it. Now how we can create a record? We are just using the name of the class. This person is here, and the person one, the name of the record, and then the variable equals to new this person record. Here we are passing the value Alice and 30 to its name and age parameters. Okay, again another record will be introduced for the record this person. To another values are given Bob and this 25 age. Okay. Now after doing so, what we are printing over here, the name of the person one and then the age of the person one. Again we are doing here person one implementation of default person one name, and then in this coding what we are doing, it will be taken as comment. Why? Because here I am showing the modification to this allotted value. Here the name value will be printing as Alice and the age value printed as 30. Now after doing so, after printing it, I want to change it to Charlie and want to make modification to this particular record. So that is not possible in record once the value is being assigned. Why? Because they are immutable in nature. So person.name equal to Charlie will, if I write this statement and open these comments, the compilation error will occur in this particular code, that we cannot assign a value to a final variable. So it is a kind of a final variable once we have assigned a value by using the person one keyword and person. We can create the multiple objects for that particular record, but we cannot override it. So that is the property of immutability, we can say. Okay. And then if we want to compare equality, I want to perform between the two records. Like I have created one record to a person and passing the two objects, person one and person two, and I want to match the value of two, whether the names and the age will be matching. That will be possible in records. So here we are doing so, system.out.println, are the person one and person two equal? Person one equals to person two. So the equals method is being used to compare the two records. Okay. And here again, the creating a new person object, person 3. So that is allowed in record multiple objects for a simple record. Here person 1 dot name and person 1 dot age is being passed as a parameter to this person 3, and we are copying the value of person 1 to this person 3 variable. That is also possible, that is also supported by the records. Again here the name will be having person 1 dot name and age will be having person 1 dot age. So person 1 content is being copied to name and age variables, and when we are printing we will be receiving the same value. So this will be the output. Here that first we have printed the name of first person 1 is Alice and then 30, and then we are comparing the value of 2. So in the second one we are here we are printing it, and our person 1 and person 2 equal, no, false. Why? Because if we have a look at this program, first person is having value Alice and 30, second person is having value Bob and 25, which is not the same values. So we will be returning a boolean type of value, that is false. And the third, we are copying the content of person 1 to person 3. Okay, person 1 is being copied to person 3. Here we can look at here. So here the person 1 content name and its age is being copied to person 3 object. So that's why the output 3 is same as that of output number 2. These two are same. And this construction means, again here what we are doing, we are just putting the value of this age and name again into name and age variable. So this constructed means name equals to the name value and age equals to age. So reconstructing that variable. Again it will be having Alice and the age of Alice. So that's all about this lecture. Hope you like my lecture. Thank you and Jai Hind to all.